So I think I have everything up. So we're gonna look at quickly is it window capture on? I hope it's showing our website. Um, let's pull up this real quick. And yeah, okay, here we go. So this is the Nintendo Switch reveal, which I remember correctly. I had been everybody kind of knew that Nintendo Switch 2 was coming at some point. It was just a matter of time when it would actually show up. So I just want to do a quick reaction here to this thing, this craziness that we have going on. That is good enough. It's good enough here to watch. So take a look and get our first impressions about this. Audio is playing. Yep. There we go. Better. So we still have a Type-C connector again at the bottom. They did do and a Type-C up top, which is interesting. I'm curious to see what they'll do with that. I do like the change in the hinge. At least the hinge is a lot more durable. Yeah, and everything looks a little bit bigger. Not bad. It's got an interesting feature. The one thing that's interesting, right? Oh, we'll talk about it afterwards. Ooh. I do like the interesting Switch 2, Nintendo Switch 2 coming soon. Who knows what we're going to get out of it? Looks so sick. Yes. So clean. Looks good. I'm not going to lie. Of course, I got to show it off like that. All right, a few quick things. Wait, play Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games as well as Nintendo Switch games. Okay, perfect. I was just about to ask this. Nintendo Switch 2 plays both physical and digital Switch games. Certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible with Switch 2. Details will be shared on the website. Okay, so few things I would think about. One thing was interesting was the design choice of switching the way the controllers came out, right? So they obviously did elevate it, and it's a little bit more appropriate. Now, I'm assuming these two buttons on each side are supposed to serve as triggers. But Wifey saw this trailer and noticed something interesting, or read something I think on Reddit that they had. This specific animation that they show right here, where you see them down and kind of gliding. I kind of want. She's saying that this might end up being like some sort of kind of like mouse control sensor for the Switch, where it's like if you were to essentially, take off one of the pieces of the Switch and then use it as like almost like a pseudo mouse clicker in some sense, which kind of makes sense, I think, in terms of the design choice that they were changing with it. And the glide sensor would make sense. The one thing is right there, right? Let me see if I can slow it down just a little bit. And I wanted to can I slow this down like a little bit? Yeah. Mute the audio now because it's going to sound scuffed as hell. But yeah, obviously they did that. But let me pull back just a little bit here. The one thing, if it's going to be like that right there, you see how that there's a second clicker button right there in this little corner. I'm not sure if that was ever going to be a good thing, because then it'd be a weird palm position for your fingers. Now, if these two are actually right here, where see you have the bumper and then you have the clicker here, or I should say the trigger here, the bumper and the trigger are essentially your mouse buttons there. Then I think, then at least there, you know, like if I move my two fingers like that, it'd be naturally easier for you to do something like that. So that would make the most sense in terms of design choice if they wanted to go really in that mouse direction, because then the bumper and the trigger would naturally feel like a left and right trigger, just a really, really tiny left and right trigger. Yeah, see, I'm looking at it more there. This is considered a bumper controller here. So have them glide and go like that. That's actually, I will admit, that is pretty fucking creative in that regard. In terms of actual use, that's a whole other story. I could see scenarios where, like, imagine if Nintendo opened up third party, where, I don't know, for example, let's say League of Legends, or like maybe a Diablo, or something where a mouse would be much more precise, could be accessed, and you could have this sort of hybrid controller setup where it's like almost like you have a thumbstick on your left hand while the right stick is actually, while your right is actually a mouse for directional movement and control. Now, in theory, this sounds like a really great idea, but in practice, I just don't know how it will actually feel. Most likely, I'm probably going to end up getting one anyways, just to keep up with the Switches and kind of get a feel for it. But yeah, it sounds like a really, really sick idea, and I just want to see how well executed it's going to be, or at least in terms of that, what games are going to take advantage of these new features that are related to it, whether it be directly, you know, Nintendo related, or if it's going to be third party related. Because I feel like switching that to be able to have some sort of like pseudo mouse control offers up and near like a pseudo laptop gaming experience, maybe in that regard, but you know, only time will tell. Like a lot of things, it's going to really depend on the games and the compatibility. We're at a point in gaming where a lot of things are just going multi-platform now, and so getting a game on the Switch and having compatible controllers to match the Switch instead of forcing the developer to essentially recreate or create controller setups that are specifically designed for Switch controls could, you know, theoretically be a good thing for the Switch as it gains more traction in both the mobile market, you know, and the computer, I'd say mobile laptop market in that regard. It's a very specific niche, but also it would offer something for kids rather than something for adults instead, when it comes to just gaming in strict terms of that, right? Some people, I would almost make an argument to saying like laptops that are strictly used for kids now that are in school is just like a school laptop, versus like a Switch is clearly defined as this is your gaming PC, or in some, you know, regards, in that regard. These are just kind of things that are just kind of bouncing off my head right now when it comes to that, and you know, who knows? We'll have to wait and see and go from there. Anyways, that's about it. That's all I wanted to try to record. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It's just a quick raw video I wanted to put out there.